Be ballin' like Shaq for real. I be pumping them packs for real. I be stunning with them racks for real. Whipping something that's fast for real. Always dripping that's facts for real. Mega deals and them better meals from this rap for real. I be doing my thing for real. I be all about game for real. Flood the watch and the chain for real. Got some M's in the bank for real. Only blowing the stank for real. Double cup full of drink for real. Ain't no limit to my niggas spending, that's that tank for real. I'm a beast in this game. Fuck the watch and the chain for real. Hug the block that came for real. Trap skills, that's rap deals. Lab drills, get rack pills from Catskills to make Nashville. Put the crack feel, never rap feel. That's for real, for real. I be
you don't like it?
For real. All the niggas that hate me because I'm taking on them. That's for real, for real. Always big, never live for real. All my niggas, they was killed for real. So we try to like this.
That was appropriate.
Yo, what it do? We back. Love the Jam Radio, man. Y'all having a moment with Codac. Just a short, brief moment, man. Just about 45, 60 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Nothing too long. Nothing to, you know what I'm saying, tell your grandkids about.
What?
Yeah. You feel me? But,
ooh, we in the rabbit hole already.
Yeah, man. So,
starting with them starbursts that he hiding, shaking and rolling over there, y'all.
Hey, man, that's my kryptonite. Oh, that's my spinach with, from Popeye.
Oh, okay. You finna swell up in this motherfucker.
So I know on today it may be a little controversial. You feel me?
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
That was exaggerated, y'all. Or was it?
Yeah, it may get a little controversial today.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you doing the New Year show. Okay.
The question is religion versus spirituality. Just a question, man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people gonna be resistant to that. A lot of people automatically, if they heard that question, they tensed up like, you know what I'm saying? Went through all kind of,
you know what,
emotions in their mind.
I saw a post. A friend of mine, Peppadon, shout out Peppadon. He's a reggae artist.
Okay.
And he posted something about Christianity. And he proceeded to say Christianity was not a religion. And I was like, sir, Christianity is definitely a religion. Based on the following of Jesus of Nazareth. Nazareth? Did I say it right? Nazareth? Your face made me feel like Nazareth? I said it wrong.
No. No, because I was just thinking, because I was listening to something on the way here. And a crazy statistic that I heard was that the religion Christianity has about 50 million bodies that they can count.
Really? Like, the thing I said was like the one I seen was like 6 point something billion followers of the actual religion itself.
No, that is probably true. When I'm talking about their body count.
Oh, I mean people they killed?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm sure that there's numbers that's not even counted.
And they say Hitler, killed about like 6 million in the Holocaust, the Jews. So they just think about that in comparison. But when we hear about all the paper inquisition and the crusades, you know what I'm saying, that they got in museums kind of woo-hooing about the stuff they done. We read it in history books. Of course they gonna change the tone in which they speaking about it, so you don't look at it as so much of a negative thing. You know what I'm saying? But look at some of the movies we've seen. You feel what I'm saying? And the crusades that the Pope was heading, things of this nature. You feel what I'm saying? This is the core foundation of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? And so people sometimes just need to dig into some history. You know what I'm saying?
Then again, the history don't always be. You dig into history with the knowledge that history was A, written by winners, and B...
I don't mean that history. I don't mean history that they put in the history books.
Okay.
I'm talking about things that you can go and find in facts. Like you can go and see a death toll. You can go and see birth rate. You can go and see actual events, you know what I'm saying, that actually happen in time. You feel what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Not so much of a certain text that they're pushing. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you go down that rabbit hole, which you rightfully should, though. You would have to question anything that's ever written. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's pretty much where
Completely
I'm at with
anything.
it. That's where I'm at with
So,
it.
so then my question is, where do you go and learn from on the foundation of what do you believe? You know what I'm saying? Is it just things that we struggle with in humanity to be comfortable with? Because, like I said, we'll go and read mathematic books. We'll go and read books about science, astrology, things of that nature, and we don't bring some of the same thought pattern as far as, oh, I got to question what they telling me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? From those perspectives, we just believe whatever we see in front of us as I'm saying, just some type of documentation that allows me to, in a sense, dissect or learn or not have to go as much in depth to accomplish whatever task I'm going for by reading this text. Oh, somebody did the work for me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I don't have to go and try to discover X, Y, and Z.
right.
So, like I say, so to some extent, I want to say there has to be some blind belief, but also too, I think just being connected to the universal power and knowledge, you will get a sense of what resonates as truth.
Hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If you try not to come with so many biases based on just kind of what you have
Programming.
believed and what you feel what I'm saying, which is more comfortable for you to accept because it doesn't challenge you. And I know the biggest challenge with anybody, especially let's just say uh, peers that are older than us, in the sense of parents, things of that nature,
Aunties.
it'd be hard for a lot of them to accept some of this new age thinking because it's
What?
like you would subconsciously they would have to come to a point of accepting that I've been I've been duped, fooled, lied to. I've allowed myself to be misled to
And that's a
this
hard
age.
pill to
That's what I'm saying,
swallow,
man. You got to really think about that. Like
even
for
as
real.
a quote unquote Christian or
I mean, that's the basis I'm coming from. So it's like about if you grew up in a quote unquote very religious home
okay.
that was based off Christianity, or even let's just say one of the other major religions. You feel what I'm saying? It'd be a very hard appeal for your parents to swallow to say, "Oh, I was wrong about this. I was misled. I was," especially if it's those that really dedicate themselves to the practices of said religion, going
Very
to
much
church,
so.
going, you know what I'm saying, being and all of
Paying the
that,
tithes.
based off of. You feel
Exactly.
what I'm saying? This religion, because in a sense, meaning you wouldn't find it upon yourself to do some of these things if it was not for
The
the sake of
programming.
saying I'm
Right.
doing this because I believe
I'm a
such and
good
such.
Christian.
You feel what I'm saying? When it's like, why do you have to have a title or parameter set around just being a good person and offer some assistance?
Right.
Why do you have to go through some pantry program at the church, food pantry program at the church in order to give food to a homeless person or you feel what I'm saying? Something of that nature.
Right.
And I think partly it's because the innate fear that we can be fooled. And so you don't want to believe, you know what I'm saying? You allow yourself to indulge into the whole fact of, oh, this homeless person can be lying to me. And they're not really homeless because we've seen that. Or it's that, oh, well, this person is out here in these conditions because they're really choosing to, which I believe to some extent a lot of them are. You know what I'm saying? Because when you
Mhm.
look at a city as big as Houston, Texas, and uh, you being here for a long time, me being here for a long time, we know we've seen programs that are out there to assist. So sometimes you have to question like either okay, there's a breakdown somewhere in the system. Either these shelters or programs really ain't helping,
Mm.
or y'all really don't want to go. You feel what I'm saying? But I think it's you know what I'm saying. We can choose to be comfortable if you choose to decide to believe in certain a certain set of programming, rather than I would really ask people, what's so bad about saying it's better to look inward to self for that source of power, rather than going to something external.
What do you mean? Like,
Anytime something good or a person is wishing for some result that they truly desire, the
mm-hmm.
majority of us in our culture know it'd be, oh man, God is good, or oh, I'm glad God did this, or man, Jesus this, or you know what I'm saying, yada yada yada. or I'm gonna ask Jesus, or I'm gonna ask God X, Y, and Z. Something good happened. Oh man, thank God for that, man. You know what I'm saying? Or I pray to God allow me to. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just like that innate inclination to go outside of yourself externally. You feel what I'm saying? Rather than trying to tap into an internal source of power that can allow you to accomplish the same thing. You feel what I'm saying? Which to me, by default, just the law of nature, it's what's happening. But I would just challenge people to just think about, just think how much more power you could access if you realize where the true source of power really came from. Because if you are quote unquote manifesting, or great things are happening in your circumference, in your individual universe, feel what I'm saying? But you really only tapping into 2, 3, 10% of the power that actually exists. It's like, just imagine what could be accomplished if you really tapped into the true source.
You think it's designed like that because?
Oh no, of course, man. Like I said, I was listening to this one deal, and it was like on some. Hey, it's hard to go into details, but I'll say the just give you a synopsis. The conversation was about that these entities that, let's say, manipulated humans' DNA. You feel what I'm saying? And they say some of this is a part of the quote unquote Adam story that we hear in the Bible. But let's just say, if we're talking about two brothers, one of the brothers that was involved in the whole manipulation of the beings on this planet's DNA told them, like, hey, it's some genes that, you know what I'm saying, I kind of slipped in to y'all DNA that'll really allow y'all to be better than us. You know what I'm saying? Type deal. But we don't know that. The other brother was pissed, mad, whole nine. But you just got to think about, from the sake of a dog and us being owners of animals, it benefits us for this dog to be ignorant and dependent to a certain extent. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, if they really had the ability and the intellect that we have to operate in this existing world, would they choose the same opinions that we choose?
Right.
True. You know what I'm saying? Because I just look at when watching the dog getting groomed. To an extent, it's a real uncomfortable situation for this animal.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
He has no understanding.
They learn to tolerate, but when you think about it in a natural state, it's like, do you see a lion going to go get a haircut?
Right. True.
Like,
does he need one?
You feel me? But we've come conditioned to being
self-conscious,
groomed to a certain extent that we expect other things to adapt to that mentality.
Yeah.
And it's beneficial for us. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you think about quote unquote religion versus spirituality, it's beneficial if, just for argument's sake, if someone was seeking to control you, which one would it be more beneficial for them to push? What mindset would it be more beneficial for them to push to you? You feel what I'm saying?
For you to be more obedient,
have to be,
for the most part.
Come on now. Compliant.
Compliant.
I don't want a motherfucking dog that I constantly got to fight with, man.
Argue with. What? Always got an opinion. What? Got thumbs like, to do shit. He ain't got no business.
Man,
he in there making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all day, every day.
At the end of the day, you know it's about your opinion on the highway. Let a dog give too much resistance. Man, hey, this dog gotta go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, even to the extent of those that will bite back. Oh, hell, you like, oh, hell no, this dog gotta go. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy, man. So it's like, if one is saying the source of whatever power that exists or that you can tap into, you have to go through a middle person to some extent. It's external compared to something that's saying this same power that exists, you can go internal and tap into that. I like challenges like, why is that such a bad thing?
Right.
You feel me? And why is it a conversation where it's like, because you want to even discuss an option, not even giving your opinion on what option you choose, but just even in the discussion of an option, it's always perceived as if you're saying the latter, religion, is bad, fake, false. You know what I'm saying? A lot of negative, like, oh, unnecessary, unbeneficial. And it's like, no, there's a lot of practices that are very beneficial, man. You feel what I'm saying? Even to the extent of setting some type of moral parameters in a world that we know all seeds just ain't good.
True. So kind of like,
You can even look at puppies. You can have a litter of 8, and one of them little motherfuckers just is
oh,
a terrorizer. Like,
right.
man. And it ain't nobody did nothing to influence that. You know what I'm saying?
It's in
You
their
got some
DNA.
that's just cool, docile, or just loving and kind of know where the limit be.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Uh, so we just know it's just some people out there that just really enjoy evil shit. We can name a lot. But then it's like our challenge, is that just not the balance of the universe?
I was about to say, there goes that balance again.
Because if you really, when you really start digging into a lot of stuff, it's really just like there ain't really a defining line as far as good and bad. It's just, let's just say, things and circumstances and energy that exist that just has various different results. And some of those results are just not whether beneficial, comfortable, or appeasing to quote unquote the masses.
So would you say religion is a necessary evil?
Some of the practices that exist, you feel what I'm saying? Because it's almost like
the bread and
the only reason why it's a conversation, because there's a set of individuals that are choosing to dictate how things are supposed to be done, when the actual essence of it at its core, it ain't nothing wrong with it. That's how, like I said, it should be damn near just normal nature. You feel what I'm saying? To not want to bring harm to anything outside of yourself, just due to the fact on some, I don't want nothing outside of me to influence my pain or comfort. Shit, you know what I'm saying? If I choose to stub, if I stub my toe or something, cool, but don't come and step on my foot.
right.
You
True.
feel me? Like, I can accept stubbing my toe. Either I should have watched where I was going, dog, I wasn't receptive, or just, hey, it's just some shit that happened.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But it's a whole nother conversation if you intentionally come and step on my toe. You feel what I'm saying? But I just have a hard time battling with, one, why does me having a question or not wanting to subscribe to that has to be equated to, oh, either I'm evil, jacked up, I'm saying this is the devil, I'm saying like all these negative results or feelings about yours, and I cannot even say that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like if you say universe versus God, it's almost like, oh, you tripping. Why does it have to even be a defect of you know what I'm saying, a defining title of there's something wrong with me? Because I ain't got to subscribe to that if you choose to quote unquote believe in religion. I can have whatever opinion I choose to, but it's just like, hey man, you live your own life. You know what I'm saying? You're in your own universe. It's cool. You feel what I'm saying? But I'd rather learn more about tapping into my internal source of power rather than waiting for something external to
Tell
affect
you.
my.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And it's like I see, like I got a homegirl, man. She really getting it. When you want to talk about entrepreneurship, business, this and the third, just opportunities, a lot of stuff be happening. But I just be like, man, you diluting some of that power and energy that you're able to tap into simply just due to come in conversation. You're gonna give the credit to some external source other than yourself. But I'm like, when you're looking at quote unquote praying and the concept of faith, it's the exact same thing as manifestation. It's the exact same thing as power, positive affirmations.
True.
You
I
feel what I'm
agree.
saying? The only difference is one is talking about self internal, the other is talking about something external. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we've been so conditioned to be, in a sense, scared of our own power to the point where we really consider it a factor to say that someone is being selfish. To an extent, when to me, in the definition or just meaning around that word, it's almost like an oxymoron because it only fits a conversation depending on who's having it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because it's like in certain aspects, we'll say, we got these little cliche things. You can't take care of nobody until what?
Take care of
Yourself. Okay? They'll say, you really can't love nobody until what?
Love yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
You can't dig nobody out of a hole until what?
You're not in the hole.
Financially, business-wise. How you gonna grow somebody else's business if you can't?
Bro, yo.
Feel me?
What do you okay,
Even
so
households. And you see a lot of that quote unquote through a lot of times religion, but I don't even want to define it in the sense as religion because just in the humanity experience within itself, you'll catch a lot of times people outwardly to the community may seem to have it all together. They always out there helping somebody else stuff and helping somebody else over here, helping this household get this thing together. They doing counseling to this couple over here. But then when you come reflect back inside their own house, it's like, ah man. You know what I'm saying? Like they said, don't sweep on nobody else's rug till you sweep your own front door. You feel what I'm saying? But it's that habit of looking at stuff external instead of looking internal.
Oh, okay.
Automatic, man. Because even sometimes it's a little bit more easier to go out there and focus on things out there than things that really you actually affect. You feel what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, being in various situations where it took you really, or it was the situations where you like to say staying around people. You feel what I'm saying? On a very consistent basis. Feel me? You start to kind of really discover a lot of times when you are met with frustration or resistance from somebody else, things you are aware that this is something you don't like. You feel me? Very strongly from this other person. I'll challenge anybody. Think about what you really don't like, but then for a second self-evaluate and see if some of those traits don't exist inside of you.
Okay, so you think...
And in a lot of ways, it's the traits that you really don't like about yourself, but you don't take the time to really fix. You feel what I'm saying?
You want the people outside of you to fix it.
So what's going to happen? You're going to be forced to see a mirror all the time. Because at the end of the day, the inner consciousness, the inner being of yourself does desire to elevate to a whole nother, you feel what I'm saying? Because it really shouldn't be difficult. Like I say, if what they say is really true, either from spirituality or religion, we should be able to ask for what we want to receive it. Even quote unquote in the Bible tell you that. Asking what?
You shall receive.
Seeking what?
You shall find me.
Feel what I'm saying? And when you think about the same principles in manifestation, they really like on some, you should be able to create your own reality kind of faster than what we have become used to if you truly tap into that source of power. But there's so much doubt surrounding and so much self-hate surrounded around a lot of the things that we desire. Hey man, that's either being selfish. I can't really look out for me like that. You know what I'm saying? It really make us feel uncomfortable to really just think about the things that we want. Now, I do understand there's a balance to that. What you want can't come at the expense of causing other people's discomfort. You feel what I'm saying?
At someone else's expense.
Yeah, basically. But I really want, because it'll only become a problem if it's not comfortable for them. Other than that, if they're able to benefit, you feel what I'm saying? Get something received off what you're doing. Oh yeah, they definitely would love for it to be at their expense. You feel me? All day long. If they just so happen to be in association by some way, form, or fashion, we ain't even got to say close friend, with somebody that's very lucrative and wealthy, they never saw the connection or how to get access. If you able to come around and, oh man, now they able to get invited to the yacht. Now they able to go on full paid, you know what I'm saying, expense trips and shit. Oh, they happy for it to be on their expense. You was able to bring them some level of comfort or benefit from whatever you had going on. But it's only a problem if, hey man, it jacks up my universe. This ain't comfortable for
For
me.
me, right?
You feel me? And when you think about it, a lot of times when it's shit that we don't like with other people, it ain't really that a lot of times it's bad. It's just, it don't feel good to me. I don't like this.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But we'll make all types of justifications go around it of why, how, and X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of times I've learned if somebody really get me emotional, whether I show it or not, I'm gonna have a habit now of like, hold on. It's something about me that I'm attracting this, that, and the third, or what am I supposed to be seeing that if I go internal a lot of the times, man, I've been able to, it's just crazy how sometimes I've had people come and tell me the very revelation that they've come to, but it was the very thing that while I was in the midst of dealing with whatever issue with this individual, I was thinking, and you feel what I'm saying? And so it's like,
So you were able to basically stop and see it in yourself, like, or stop
oh man,
yourself from outsourcing it to. Okay, I
it's
see what
all
you're saying.
it's always all internal, and a lot of times the situation may not be directly practical to what the actual issue is. You feel what I'm saying? But it's trying to make you aware of something. Just because, oh, you think the situation that's is dealing with your car. You feel what I'm saying? It may not be internal for you actually something about this vehicle, but it's some principle about the scenario, some mental trait connection or thought process that you have in that internally you are trying to fix. You feel what I'm saying? It's almost like you finding the most creative ways to talk to yourself because a lot of us just ain't connected with ourselves. Right. We really think it's a problem to sit there and talk to yourself. To have, like, how many people can really just sit in a vehicle with no music? Oh, it's hard. Oh, hell no. I gotta have some external noise, some type of going on because it's just too uncomfortable for me to listen and deal with me, myself.
Right.
When a lot of the times it's that internal being is just trying to talk. Like I'll tell a lot of people, man, yourself is waiting to meet you. Man.
And some of y'all not gonna like what you meet.
It ain't even really so much of a you're not gonna like what you meet, just to have an understanding that if anybody in this on this planet, in this world, has your best interest, it's you. But it may be that you really ain't connected with right now because there's so much external things going on. It's distracted. It's like trying to listen to somebody in the club when the music too loud.
Facts. And they try
you can't hear them, man.
They try to freestyle in your ear.
You feel me? Or just imagine in social media if they really trying to tell you some source of knowledge, some shit that can really help you out. You know what I'm saying? Some information that you really been seeking for. You've been asking about this question all day. Then a nigga in the club running to you and like, hey, got the answer. And you like, all right, bet. But also then they turn the music all the way up. You can't hear shit this nigga saying. So the knowledge that this person has ain't even beneficial to you. Because you can't even receive it. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's why to me it be so important about the things that we allow to come in through a lot of these vortexes in ourselves. Eye, sound, touch, energy. You feel what I'm saying? It's so important. Because you is waiting to meet you, man. And I can guarantee you that person got more. I don't see anybody else wanting to benefit you more than your internal self. Because it directly affects their comfort as well. When you can, to some extent, some percentage, affect other people's comfort. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But not as much as the internal being. It got to walk in your shoes. It got to walk in your body. You feel what I'm saying? So why wouldn't want to have the best experience that it could possibly have? Enjoy the things that y'all really like and really want to receive. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But we'd rather go and sit in a building and wait to get off and wait to get fed all this external endorphins. You know what I'm saying? Rather than sometimes sit or just meditate. You feel what I'm saying? Because I can tell you right now from personal experience, trying to really get more into meditation. Hey man, it's hard trying to kill the noise a lot of times.
Definitely hard.
You hear me?
Definitely.
But you got to really think about that. How is something so simple so difficult? But that's because we've been fed through the programming to be so used to all the external distractions and noise. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like how you gonna turn a dog away? How you gonna get a dog to ignore its natural instincts as far as loud noise? When you think about it in a practical sense, from being a wild creature, it's very instinctual for you to jet and run the other way as soon as you hear something loud.
Right.
Why? Because usually it's probably some sense of danger or something that could cause you some discomfort. Because naturally, things ain't just gonna happen like that. You just ain't gonna hear no loud, random ass damn noise. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you get the dog used to just hearing this all the time, it cuts off their senses. It don't even respond. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you think about that internally, we get so used to hearing so many things externally, it's uncomfortable for us to not have that stimulation and have to deal with self. We'll say that's the loudest that it is, because it's like, oh man, I got so much going on. Man, you know what I'm saying? So that should tell you already just how connected we truly are to self, when we really can't even just be one with ourselves like that in a quiet space. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it may be easier if you stimulated by other visual benefits. Like I say, if you go to the beach by yourself, you can probably really get into a mode of quote unquote meditation.
Yes, definitely.
You feel what I'm saying?
I definitely went to the beach for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Me and Nipsey.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I agree with you on a whole lot of levels.
Down here, this is like we ain't really.
Well, I mean,
when you know when you travel somewhere else, man, and
who you
telling?
But
you be
still,
like, man, this ain't no beach, like they lying.
Hey, but that sound though, that water, the waves
up.
crashing, it still stimulates differently. But I mean,
no, but yeah, it do though. And sometimes it's like I will beg to ask, why does it have this serene effect?
Because we're made of it. We are it. It is in us. You know what I'm saying? From there we come, and there shall we return. So it's the same energy, But I be thinking, you said a lot of different things tonight. A lot of good points were reached and thought of, and a lot of questions, and the rabbit hole got super deep. I ain't gonna lie. It really got deep. It really, really fucking got deep there for a second. Because I was like, I don't like quietness. But I know that, for example, those of you that have served or whatever, when you hear something so loud, it can create a ringing in your ears.
Oh, most definitely.
So I think it's called tinnitus, possibly.
Yeah.
But it'll be there for your whole life. So you'll literally never experience true silence again. So being able to be even strong enough and aligned enough to know that science and apply it and be like, okay, you know what I mean? And be able to block it out. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't go nowhere.
But I will say this, though, and this is controversial. Okay? Let's just say I haven't physically read a book. I may have heard a lot of audible dictation about this scenario as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know what I'm saying? So we'll just let that be the disclaimer. The mind can definitely heal the body without any external factor. We just haven't been trained to really believe that. See what I'm saying? Okay. There's a lot of things that stereotypically the body shouldn't be doing.
Right. Like regeneration.
It's doing consistently. Definitely. So we really got to understand how much the mind really can heal the body. You feel what I'm saying? Like for real. But sometimes these things affect us so dramatically, even in the sense of discomfort and pain that we experience with inside of our own body. We'll get so used, or the sensation of it is so strong. It would really be a task for us to tell our body, for our mind to really communicate with our body that this can go away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if it really hasn't been practiced like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I would say from the concept of if a person go out there and 50 Cent will tell you in his Audible book, he like, I ain't never afraid of losing losing all my money, because I know I got the mindset I can go back and get it.
Right.
And let something physically happens to me that alters me being able to maneuver and operate the way that I do. You feel me? I can go out there and get it straight up. And so we haven't been taught. We've always been taught that even the healing of discomfort comes externally. You feel what I'm saying? That, man, it'd be a hard concept to adopt to really believe that we can really heal any ailment that our body has, even to the extent of something like tendonitis. You feel what I'm saying? But when you look at stuff like that the monks didn't talk about, you feel what I'm saying? Or even when you talk about some of these videos that have surfaced of people doing real live crystal healing or energy healing just with their hands.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Even when you talk about looking up some research where the first medical instruments were basically music instruments, like the harp. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Using the vibrations of that. And you feel what I'm saying? And to some extent, it has to come with some sense of belief. We've seen it today, the placebo effect.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Breaking it up, giving some people extra real medicine, some people a sugar pill. All of them get healed. What's the okay? Come on. You feel what I'm saying?
You can actually access your cells and tell
most
them
definitely
what to do and how to
most
do.
definitely.
And to the point where subconsciously, that's how the only few little organs and stuff that we have that regenerate themselves. You know, like the liver. I think it's the only right. The liver. I believe the liver is the only organ that can regenerate itself.
I'm not a medical person.
I wish Angel,
no
where are you? This is when she would be like,
Google it on the phone.
Facts, fast.
But the fact is, though, like I say, there's so much that we haven't been taught or learned to tap into when it comes to the mind.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, man.
That's true.
It's ridiculous.
Right. Like, but it's to keep us.
I still stand by the fact that anything that we can do with this technology on our phone, that I think at one point in existence on this planet, we were able to do that naturally without something external like that. You feel what I'm saying?
But then, like, if you can imagine, how would society be with applying the whole "there's always a bad seed to keep the balance" law, and all these people walking around completely, like, for lack of a better phrase, unlocked.
But look at how dangerous it's still not even just what we have. So the opposite is always going to exist. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, are we better off? Are they doing us a favor? Like, are we, you know what I mean? To a certain extent, maybe at some point it got out of control, but I feel like certain things are put in place as a result of, you know, like even when we see movies or hear history, they're always like, they always hint that we always destroy ourselves. Like whenever it's one of those movies where humanity is completely destroyed, then it's always the alien or whoever the fuck intervenes, and they're like, you know, the humans always, you know, eliminate themselves. Like they take themselves out. And then like, think about like the lost city of Atlantis, for example, right? There's all these stories and myths about the city and why it was put underwater and what actually happened. You know what I mean? The Ice Age. How deep do you want to go? Because there's the dinosaurs. There's people that don't believe in dinosaurs. You know that? I read about, there's a group of people that don't, there's a name for them. They don't believe in dinosaurs. It's like flat earth. Right. Like the whole flat earth, round earth. It's like dinosaurs, no dinosaurs.
I mean, to know some of those individuals that is like I say, they gonna question anything and everything that they ever receive, read. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So it's just one of those things. It's like, okay, hey, at some point you have to decide to accept.
Shut up, her cuisine. Are there? Look, are there?
Because people say they got evidence that the earth is actually
flat. Exactly. That was the point I was making. There's people that like, really like legit believe in.
Me, that's why I always be like, man, a lot of times I won't get too hard in trying to convince a person to believe whatever thought process I may have. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like,
thank you.
You choose to believe whatever may fit the dynamic of a life that you want to live at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're all going to be self-serving to some extent.
Because at the core, we want to
Self-preservation is all it's
Exactly.
about. You
Survive.
feel what I'm saying? But I do think that we are all able to exist without detrimentally. Because I put it to you like this: there's enough balance just in the universe as a whole. Humanity don't have to add to it. There's enough balance internally. We ain't got to add to nothing else external.
But is the balance, has the balance, and is the balance, and will the balance ever be equal? Like it's like the balance in the scales is always going to be teeter. It's not going to reach the harmonic. That's like not unrealistic, but it's kind of like, you know.
I put it to you like this: I think there's always a balance. We just may not be aware of the other side.
Or we are on the other side.
No, regardless, but I'm just saying that don't think or assume I'm talking about one side or the other. You know what I'm saying? Just like they say, the front of my hand is existing at the same time that you see the back. You just can't see the front.
Right.
So, and to some extent, somebody could even argue, oh, it's not there. Feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I've heard an argument about, I forget what they call it, but it was like the example was like your house, where your stuff at, ain't there.
When I'm not in it. Exactly.
Unless
I know
somebody else around is thinking about it to an extent.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like
Gryffindors.
The rabbit hole gets so deep, man. It's great.
Why are you making that face?
But I'm just like,
that is a common argument discussion, though. You know what I'm saying?
And some people just like, man, I don't want to have a. Me for myself, I even seek the balance in that. It's like I don't have to go so hard in debating whether or not it's true or fact. If anything, I just got to try to find how it may affect and what does it have to do with my circumference, my life, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like...
I mean, I give a fuck about shit that don't got to do with my life, but I think they call that being nosy. And I get that naturally, as my grandma would say.
But no, it does have something to do with your life, though. To be honest with you, just even if it's to the chemicals that it releases in your body that you may have found some comfort.
Right. Being nosy than a motherfucker.
It sets off something.
Ooh, you know what? I know we're running out of time, but I will say this. You said we as a people, we evolve, you know, or we're going to evolution, or we evolve and whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. So who's to say what direction we're evolving into? But if we evolve and we adapt to what's going on around us, and people are becoming like more cruel and less compassionate, is
so
that
say?
True?
So they say.
True.
Because I'll put it to you like this. Some people will really argue that this is the best that humanity has been. When you talking about times where it was really unsafe to walk around in the streets,
True.
man.
Like the Wild Wild West times, even.
Man.
I used to think that I was from that, like I was meant to be during
and
that
even
time.
They say it was times that was worse than that.
Like
you feel me? The only thing that made that so crucial is the fact of the kind of inventions of the weapons that a person could die a lot faster.
God damn it.
You could kill somebody from a... It didn't really take so much of a physical interaction.
It was way more crueler.
See what I'm saying? You can shoot somebody from 100 yards. When before weapons like that exist, there was no threat like that ever that crossed man's mind.
Or it would be like the times where if you stole, then you get your hand cut off. That type of, you know what I mean? But was that during, like, was that a better time for people when knowing that how real that shit could get? Fuck the police coming and picking you up and putting you in the system. Like, nigga,
the best philosophy I ever heard was out there in Dubai.
Okay.
One of the cab drivers was like, they lost to the point because he had did it.
Did he have a hand?
No. What happened?
Oh.
Was it me? No, it was something. It was one of the guys, one of my shipmates, right? Mm. We get in the cab to come back to the ship. Mm. He realized, and now mind you, we had been driving for probably 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He like, oh man, I left my wallet on the phone booth. Cab, we tripping. Because in America, you like, nigga, your shit gone.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Like, nigga, we been gone for 10 minutes and then we gotta turn around and go back,
That's
bro.
20 minutes. That shit dead, son.
Nigga,
You may not well even go back.
Cab driver was like, oh, no, don't worry about it. It's gonna be there. It's no problem. We was like, what? Hell no. This people gonna be, he was like, no. Out here in our country, you don't want to get caught stealing. Oh, hell no. You don't want to get caught killing somebody. You know what I'm saying? He was like, if you do something that affects somebody's physical well-being, kill them or something like that, they'll put you in the cell with no roof. Ain't got no bed, no nothing like that. The floor is just the elements. If it's grass, if it's concrete, if it's sand or dirt, they leave you out there. Through all weather conditions. They like, if you don't care about human life, well, we ain't gotta care about your life.
Oh no.
And on some points where it's like how he was like out there in America, y'all get visits to your jail. Out here, you commit a crime like that, it's shame for your family to come and visit you because they like, you did something bad. Like, hell no, we don't want to be associated with that. Anybody gonna come and visit you, ain't no visitation type deal. He tell me they'll put you in a cell, but just, I think, matter of fact, he said for something like stealing, they put you in a cell where you can't stand up all the way, you can't stretch your arms out all the way, you can't lay out all the way.
Oh no.
Make it 100% uncomfortable. Ain't no.
This nigga said 100% uncomfortable.
Man, ain't no.
I could not. I need to stretch my shit. Like, ain't no.
None of that. They like, ain't none of that. Ain't none of that.
Oh,
they like, why are we gonna make this comfortable?
What if you're a little person? Then you got.
Hey, yeah, you in the business now, and let's take on adjust the cell to fit your discomfort. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, he little now.
Yeah, we need to
squeeze that motherfucking wall up.
Yeah, exactly. We need to put some more stuff up in here. But you feel what I'm saying? Hey, it's while it was
throw him in the choking.
It's while it was there moving back. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody stole this shit.
Right. It was there.
Same thing with it was the cleanest place I ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And by that time we had, this is like probably like the second or third time we came back to Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
So we had been to other countries. Man, hey, it was the cleanest place. We said it was a game while we driving from the ship to some of the stores and malls to see who can spot trash on the freeway.
No, fuck I Spy, but nigga trash spy.
We like, bro, because once
trash
we realized it, we was like, once we realized, we was like, nah, it gotta be trash somewhere. We don't see no street sweepers, ain't no little midget going up and down the freeway on a bike picking up shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the trash? And you're like, oh no, we don't litter.
Right.
We actually care about our country. Why would we want to throw trash out on the street? Why not wait till we get to a trash can? We in the malls and the stores, and I know me, I was smoking a black and mild, walking through the stores, and ain't nobody tripping, but I'm just like, all of a sudden I realized that, why the hell I don't smell smoke? Like, you feel me? Yeah. Their sense of freedom is extreme, but it's just because they self-govern like that, man.
Yeah.
They just all care enough. You feel me?
Yeah.
Even the same thing, you can walk through the malls drinking, you can go have your Hennessy and Coke, walking through the mall shopping, ain't nobody finna do nothing. But act drunk if you want to. You feel me?
Yeah.
Steal something out the mall if you want to. They like, that's... Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. And so it's just the conditioning.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. It goes
get
deep.
Used to... Oh, we got all these rules, so sometimes it's just like, it's just good to break them just because it's a rule. Think about the mentality of a kid, man.
Or it's the consequence that is the difference mostly. And also the family structures and the actual pride in family and the family name meaning something. Over here, we're essentially the descendants of slaves, so they're not going to have no origin or no name to be proud of because the name that we have is the slave owner's name for the most part, even if you move around. So it's like that knowledge of self. They know who they are, who their grandparents were, where they came from. That shit has been in their family for 100. You know what I'm saying? They have established cultures to govern themselves like that. I'm just being the devil's advocate in a really weird conversation.
No,
but I'm just saying. Starburst
yes,
head ass.
That could be a part of our history where we were captives. But to me, It just takes us going a little bit further back in our history.
But we still were captives.
We just
though.
have to. I agree.
Okay, I just want to make
But
sure.
my question is this: what is that narrative doing for us? That's like this one comic book dude, right? It was some movie that just came out, and this nigga went on a rampage. I am tired of a god. I'm not going to watch that movie. He was like, hell no, it's just another slave movie, man. How long are they gonna keep telling us about slavery? And I feel it because I'm one of the people that I understand the only time it needs to really be in a conversation is when we're talking about actually fixing the psychosis, fixing
I was
the
about to
PTSD
say, without
behind
if
it.
we just forget about it,
But
then
no,
there's no way to
but-
identify the.
Because you don't have to keep bringing up the girl's rape to heal her and get her over the mental state that's actually fucking her up.
Right, but you have
But
to
you
know
don't have
that the rape fucked her
You
up.
can know it. I'm not saying that we
Okay.
don't have to acknowledge the fact, but I'm saying what's the narrative doing for us?
The narrative, I feel, is
Would it not be more beneficial to talk about when we were kings and queens? We actually had dominion over this existence.
I think that goes back to the balance and having knowledge of both and being aware
But
of.
right now, we're not operating in the knowledge of both because we don't even have depictions of, like I said, I mean, Black Panthers are we gonna get?
True. But our society as it stands is a result of, direct result of. It wasn't a direct
We're gonna
result
leave
of
it there.
us
We're gonna
being.
change it.
I mean, it's not about us changing it. You're saying
Yeah,
like
no, it is.
identifying that it happened like in a different way. If anything, I feel like we should dive more into it as far as get the actual facts, not
Facts of what?
dramatize it, not make it seem like it was, indentured servitude, and you know what I'm saying. Actually, look at the ugliness that it is and that it was.
We haven't?
Until we, no, I don't think
How?
that, because people still deny that it was even. People are in denial.
I'm saying this real talk. How many movies can you go back to and find that really show the horror of slavery? I'm not gonna have a conversation with somebody who willingly want to deny that the sky is blue.
Okay.
We don't need to keep debating that, bro. You just don't want. It's cool. I don't have to entertain in that conversation about every dog bites. It got teeth. Hell yeah, it can bite. Whether it chooses to, that's a whole nother conversation. Is it trained? That's another conversation. But don't come ask me no stupid shit. Do your dog bite? It can.
Right.
It got teeth. The hell kind of question is that? You feel what I'm saying? Am I gonna get wet if I go to the pool? You can. It's water over there. You know what I'm saying? Like the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, man. We know the horrors of slavery, man. Go back and watch the movie Mandingo. It'll introduce you to the psychosis of the black female. It's slowly changing, but why? Because the conversation stopped being had. Black woman within herself understood the power. You see it everywhere. Black women is winning. And on that note, I'm going to tell you, the thing for 2022, if you ain't got black, strong female in your camp, you slipping on your pimping. I'm trying to tell you, man, they the hottest thing since sliced bread. It is what it is. If you talking about having some level of success in 2022, and it's all masculine, hey, man, I'll see you back when COVID was just coming out or something like that, because you behind the curve. It is what it is. We'll holler at y'all next time, man. Love the Jam Radio. A moment with Codac.